playoffs update. Sol gets emotional, and the worst C9 ever? This is Custa News Network. First week of the playoffs is done, okay? So we all did predictions. We all had our great little ideas of what we thought was gonna happen. So I think we can all agree that we can throw all that out the window, okay? It's useless. This was my bracket, okay? I'll put it this way. I had Sol beating Titans, didn't come up. I had Spark beating the Gladiators, didn't come up. I had Spitfire beating New York, didn't come up. I had Shock beating the Reign, also didn't come off. All right, what is going on, guys, okay? We're just trying to make me look bad right now because this is just all over the place. So we've had some crazy things happen throughout this series. So we had, eventually at the end of this week, we have Shock in the lower bracket, but they are still going strong. We also have the Gladiators chilling through the lower bracket as well. We have NYXL, and we also have the other team, though. We have NYXL versus the Vancouver Titans, is what it was, coming through the main winners bracket. So we're gonna see that next week, which is gonna be awesome. Both teams are playing incredibly well. It's been some weird stuff. We got a meta change. We got Bastion coming in. For everyone who's always wanted to see more Bastion in the Overwatch League, this is your fault. No one wanted this ever, but here we are. This is where we're going for all the marbles. We're going Bastion these days. So it's been cool to see these matches. We're gonna go through some clips right now. Check out what we got. All right, so let's see what we got with the updates this week. So we have NYXL's Flower coming in before their most recent match saying, I only slept for 3 hours before the match. Anyway, it was lit. Spitfire GG. So they took down the Spitfire with Flower only on 3 hours of sleep. He's got to work that out because he's got a long way to go. They're in the winners finals. They potentially got 2 more matches, 3 if they fall into the lowest bracket. So NYXL finally looking like the powerhouse that we know and love. So it's really awesome to see them pulling it out when it really matters. I honestly want to see them in the grand final stage. I think they deserve it. They've been around for 2 seasons. They've been really strong. Obviously struggled a little bit towards the end of the regular season, but right now, coming in hot. We also had potentially one of the worst C9s we've ever had. This was the most crucial C9 we've ever had. We have Shock getting off the cart at the last moment. We had Smurf go down, so he wasn't on the cart. We had a Sigma ulting, so he was in the air, and they just didn't get onto it. So we can see the reaction from the San Francisco Shock. This is map 7, last point, last fight, last everything for this series. It could have been gone either way, and the C9 Mott's reaction is just summarizes everyone whenever they've C9'd ever, and also every viewer that was watching that match at the same point. Just the raw shock coming out of it and the disappointment. That's you hate to see it. You hate to see it from the boys, the Shock, but I believe that they're coming through the lower bracket. They're coming in hard. This meta is so up and down. I think they're starting to get a grasp on it. They're my #1 pick to win this entire thing. So we have Sol getting knocked out of the playoffs. They obviously had an incredible run towards the end of the season. They made it through the play-ins, had an amazing time getting into the playoffs. But unfortunately, they did lose both their matches back to back. You saw probably one of the most raw emotional moments we've seen in the league. In this interview, you saw Ray Hong and Toby both getting, very emotional about talking to their fans, talking they're going to do better. Obviously had a rough season last season. This season obviously made a lot of improvements, but Toby, Jae-Hong, a lot of this roster has been built around such an important core that have been around ever since the Overwatch. So these guys are legends within the game, legends within their role. So awesome to see the amount of passion that they have. The fans don't realize how much time, effort, and work we put into going for these playoffs and going for these runs. When you have it stop short so quickly, it's such a hard thing. So big shout outs to the league for capturing this moment, and also Jae-Hong and Toby for putting themselves out there to sort of put back to the fans that they're going to be back next season and they're going to be better. On to the fan comment section of the week. I asked you guys to tell me about roll queue. Let's see what we got. Ian Den the 70s. That was a hard name to say. With I wish Jeff Kaplan would come on Custa News Network as a guest. Yo, Jeff, if you ever want to be on Custa News, I know you watch this. Obviously, you're welcome on the show as a guest. We can talk about Doomfist and all the fun things that we could do with him, like delete him in the game, from the game, in the trash can. Sure. We have Kyle Newillant with, I want everyone to reset MMR and SR, but I want to be able to reset both whenever I want for like $5. Okay. Not everyone would pay to reset their account, but some would. This way I could keep all my skins, levels, and socials with my one account. So you want to change it, you want to reset your MMR and your SR. I feel like if you did that, people would find a way to abuse this and make it so that you could I feel like account boosting would get a lot stronger and that kind of stuff. So I don't think that system would work. I think if you're gonna do it, you need to do it across the board and do it as a one-time thing. So we'll see how that goes. We saw some up and down things, but we haven't really had much from Blizzard since then, so we'll see. Next up, we have Nathan Anderson with, I think Blizzard not enacting an MMR reset is a conspiracy, led by Jeff, obviously, to trick everyone into buying Overwatch Switch. Screw this PC game, they're not gonna MMR reset, I'm gonna go play on the Switch. Said nobody ever. So it is cool that it is on the Switch, so that if you guys didn't know, Overwatch was recently announced to going on the Switch, so it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna have a lot of new people coming in to play the game, so more noobs to crush, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, we have Harry James Miller with MMR reset only works if you can get everyone to play at the same time. If GM players return to the game in a month after grinding Classic WoW, then that ruins more games, and games aren't unbalanced until everyone plays their games. That's true. Like, you always see it. We have a lot of people, like, it's like when Top 500 comes out, you have a lot of people that are incredibly high skewed and higher Top 500 than they usually are because not everyone's played their 50 games to get Top 500. So until you get to the end of the season, you sort of see the balance sort of, average out, and that's what's important. So it's kind of cool. See how that works. I don't know if an MMR reset would work. Obviously, we're still having massive problems with, queue times and you're sort of getting the role queue to work as effectively as you want. I think it's cool once you're in game, but I think the system, in place needs a little bit of tweaking. Okay, we have Aussie Nico 1 with MMR reset, please. Okay, you take those. Even if we have to play 30 games, 10 per role, for the initial placement and then 15 for the next 5 seasons before resetting again, that would be a better way to determine each role's rank. The problem that I think with that system is that if you're doing this 30 games thing, 30 games is very daunting for a lot of people, and I think a lot of people just won't do it. And if a lot of people don't do it, then as we just said before, then your sample size is smaller, it makes it really hard, you have more variance in all your games. So I think there needs to be a quick solution to the problem, and I'm not sure if MMR reset is that. I think it would be better in the long term, but it's gonna suck for the moments that it happens. So we'll see. And Custa, what's your secret to have your hair always perfect? It is not always perfect. Trust me, you don't want to see me when I wake up. It's awful. There's no secret. Just love and, I don't know, doing it properly. Alright guys, we have an awesome St. Jude event coming up. You can join LA Valiant and Immortals fans, staff, and players for the St. Jude Walk Run on September 28th on a Saturday. So it's going to be at the Paramount Studios. It's a great opportunity to do something for the kids while also getting to see an actual Hollywood studio lot. You can sign up and register to walk at val.gg/walk for the kids, or you can feel free to send a donation and support the team. It's back, guys. The Shadowburn dance is back with another round. We have IDK taking the reins. Here we go. He's learnt the dance. You can see he's been practicing for the last few weeks. He's getting it. My favorite thing about this entire video is Gooshway in the corner, giving his moral support. Wait, where is he coming? Here comes Gooshway. He's really excited about what's happening in this dancing video. So I prefer Rhea, who's getting much more into it, but almost getting clipped in the face there. So big shout outs to the Korean players for picking up the reins. The Shadowburn dance is eternal, pun intended. Now we have a Valiant update coming through this week. We have Packing 10 being promoted to head coach. He is no longer a box. He is no longer interim. He is full on head coach. So that is awesome for the team, awesome for him. He's obviously done a really good job of turning our team around and sort of putting us in the right direction. So great head coach, love working with him. So really looking forward to see what he can do in the next couple of seasons to come. Thank you very much for watching this week's Custa News Network. We got the playoffs going through. We got the lower bracket run from the shot going on. Who knows what's going to happen with Atlanta, Gladiators. We got the best match coming up, Titans versus NYXL. They're both looking the strongest right now. So make sure you're checking that out. We'll be doing Custa News Network again next week, so make sure you check that out. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe as you always do. And once again, this is all your fault. Playoffs coming through these. Alright, thank you very much for watching. Yeah. Copy. What?